Hey guys, welcome back for another video. In this video today we're going to be taking a look at my Guardhouse boxes. I'm going to be sharing 3 reasons of why I think it's a good idea to use the Guardhouse box system. And of course I'll be showing off my Guardhouse boxes and where I'm at. And I'll also talk about perhaps one reason that you may not want to have Guardhouse boxes. With that said, let's get right into it. First of all, an overview here. I decided to let the lids on the boxes so you can see a little bit of the coloration, the variety in colors. And I will say also, obviously I did have to go mobile for this video as there is too much to fit in my normal filming area. And we're here on this table that has not given out so far. And as you can see, just as an overview here, this box right here is for silver dollars. It would also hold eagles, but I only use it for my Morgan and Peace dollars, and it comes in this cream color. And then next we have this rich brown color, and those are my $half boxes. This bright orange one is for quarters, and the light green ones are for dimes. And then this one down here is for nickels. And I have another one for nickels that I'm not including in this video. I'll explain why later. And they also make a box for pennies, but I don't have any of those. So with that said, let's go ahead and get right into it. Now I'm not sure how well I can get these open with one hand, but I will try. So this one is probably one of the emptiest ones out of all of these. Looks like I'm gonna have to set the camera down. So there we go guys, got the lid off. I had to set the camera down to get it off, but I wanted to say too that these boxes, if you're not familiar with them, I did not really explain what they are. They are designed for holding US coins, or at least tubes of US coins, and inside those tubes you could put really anything you want. And they come with these dividers as you see here, and they look nice with these square tubes. I happen to have square tubes for my dollar coins, but in the rest of them, as you will see, I have round tubes and square holes. I guess it kind of represents the story of my life. But anyway, we got a little bit of organization here. I've got 3 tubes of Morgan dollars, and this one here is a part tube, and then I've got 3 tubes of Peace dollars, and this one's a part tube. So let me pop off the top. So there we go guys. This tube right here is a full tube, so it contains 20 Morgan dollars. Have a nice one right there on top with that toning. And then this one, as I said, is a part tube. Looks like it's a little over halfway full. And it's not something I'm really stacking that hard, but I pick them up every now and then. And I guess the idea is eventually, possibly, I will have a full box here. And I should mention also, these boxes do not hold the same amount in each one. They actually vary a good bit, but this one, the dollar box, holds $500 face if you do the math. At least that's what I think I remember. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, that would be 25 tubes times $20 face per tube. So that would be $500 face in this box. Alright, and yeah, these are empty tubes, just some extra tubes I have on hand. So there we go, that's that one. Actually, maybe I will just let that lid off of there. Next up here we have my 90% $half box. I actually have a 90% $half box and one for 40%. I decided I wanted to have a box of 40%, so I did get that stacked. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at where I'm at in my 90%. And there we go guys. So as you can see, I have 4 empty spaces, and I have this organized a little bit. As you can see through the tops of the tubes there, I've got walkers up here at the top. So it looks like 2, 4, 6, I believe this is 7 full tubes of walkers. So if we had another $10 face, that would look pretty nice. And then for Benji's, we have 2, 4, what is that, 8, there's 10 full tubes plus another one that's almost full. So yeah, it's a nice nice way to stack those up. And then we've got the 1964 Kennedys right there. And you can see I do keep track sometimes. There's that little paper there that says 14. So that means that there's 14 half dollars in that tube. And in case you don't know, these would hold $10 face value or 20 coins per tube as well. But this box holds $280 face value because we've got 7 rows going this way and then 4 this way. So it's a little bit of an odd number, 280 compared to 500. And then the quarter box holds 500 as well. But yeah, that's where we're at with the half dollars. So yeah, I'm excited to be kind of close to finishing that Guardhouse box. And yeah, it is another $40 plus face, so it's not quite as close as you might think, but I should be able to finish it within a year or less. We'll see what kind of deals come up. Okay, so moving on to my next half dollar box. This is the 40 percenters, and as you can see, we have this one all filled up, and I think I have all the all verses on top, heads facing that way. So there you go, get a nice look at the 40 percenters. So yeah guys, a full box of 40 percenters. Now I don't plan to keep on stacking these hard. I did purposely stack 40% at times, and got a full box here, so $280 face. I know I have another tube filled and then a couple extra ones beyond that. So beyond this, now that I have this amount, I'm just going to be, I'll be getting 40 percenters possibly as giveaway wins, or only if they're like a really, really good deal, because the 90% holds twice as much silver in one box as a 40% box. Talking Bullion made a very good argument on a video in his channel, or I should say in a video on his channel, that you have to think about the space that you take up whenever you stack things like 40%. But I'm still willing to have one box, and I think that's going to be great to have for just in case I would ever need it, or if I ever want to flip this down the road. In fact, I could already sell this whole box and make a large profit based on my average cost for what I've paid for all of it. Alright, so that's pretty cool, and I will say it was very exciting to finish that box right there. That was a lot of fun. And now the next one, going down the line of denominations, we've got the quarters, and as you can see, we have a full box here as well. Now I did forget to mention, well no, I did mention that I had the half dollars organized, because my silver dollars organized by Morgan and Peace. These are organized by Walkers, Benjis, and Kennedys, and then of course 40 percenters are Kennedys only. And then my quarters, I have only Washington quarters. I've decided that I'm not going to stack the Standing Liberty quarters. I'm okay with a few of them because a few of them show up. Sometimes when you buy $10 face, you'll get a few Standing Liberties in there. But for the most part, I'm seeking out the Washingtons because they have significantly more silver. And sometime I'm going to make a video about how much silver loss there is the older silver you stack. So in this box, you might be able to see a little bit of a difference over in this area. These are all 1960s. In fact, I believe half the box or more. Yeah, so this is half the box from here over, and that's all 1960s, and this one is, so that's an additional one. And then what's that? Can't really tell. That says 57. So then we get into the 50s, so that's the rest of this row, all of this row, and this tube right here. And then we've got 40s for the rest of this row, and all this row, and this tube. And then we've got some 30s here, but I will say that I think I have maybe 2 full tubes of the 30s, and then another partial tube of 30s, and I have a couple mixed tubes right here. And I did recently get some more 90%, showed that in a video very recently, so I'll probably switch out a few quarters. But oh no, I do have a full box here, so $500 face value right there in the quarters. That's a heavy box, and wow, that's a lot of silver to stack. $500 face, but it's really cool to have that box filled. Alright, so moving on, and be sure to stay tuned for the top 3 reasons I have to share for using these Guardhouse boxes. Here is my Roosevelt dime box, and I have a Mercury dime box right there. But here's my Roosevelt dime, and I see I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 full tubes, plus there's a couple partials here. So here again I have these separated by decade. I do hunt through all of my silver, my 90% silver, and I pick out the very best for my albums, which I may show on my channel at some point, but that's why I have these all separated by decade, and it's kind of nice to have that sorted out. So yeah, here's a partial tubes. You can see I've got 27 in that one, and these tubes hold $5 face. We got some toners in there, and then yeah, we've had 60s, 50s, and then this would be 40s over here. Now the Roosevelt dime started in 1946. They started minting them in 1946, so it's understandable you're not going to find as many in the 40s. And then here are the 50s, and of course 60 of 1960 through 1964. And again, these are not sorted by year, only by decade. But it's pretty exciting to be kind of closing the gap, squeezing the gap in this 90% dime box. And this box will hold $250 face value once it is completed. Okay, so next box is going to be the Mercury dime box. And as you can see, there's a lot of empty space in there, so that's kind of too bad. But if you would combine this box with this box, then you can see I would more than have a full dime box. So I'll just have to wait, because I've determined, and I'm stubborn, that I'm going to stack a Roosevelt box and a Mercury box. And in fact, I'm sure I'll keep on going beyond that. So yeah, again, we've had this sorted by decade. We've got the 1940s over here on the right, and then we've got almost a full row of 1930s. Here's a partial tube. 1920s, just a few, and then the 19 teens, we have 2 full rows plus a partial. Alright, so got a ways to go in that one. And then last of all, I do have a nickel box, and actually I have 2 nickel boxes. The other one I use to keep organization in my old nickels that I find coin roll hunting, but this one's a little bit harder to see because you might be able to tell these are empty tubes here. Now there's a partial, so I have almost 3 full rows here of the war nickels, and then over here I have a partial tube, and this is how many war nickels I found coin roll hunting last year in 2019. So yeah, the idea is to fill this with war nickels, and again, it's one of those kind of lower priority goals, so I don't really buy them that terribly often, but every once in a while I'll pick up a few, and eventually this will be a full box of war nickels. Alright, so what are the 3 reasons that I wanted to share? Well, the first one is simply organization. As you can tell, I have everything organized by denomination, and because of my own choice, I have it organized by year as well. So it's pretty nice to have things organized and know what you have in each one. And that's kind of the second reason I wanted to share, is simply knowing what you have, right? So it's very nice to keep track on paper or a spreadsheet how much silver you have, how much you stacked. But this way you can visually see, you can just check and see how much you have, count it up really fast. It's only so much face value per tube, so you can do the math. And whereas if you just throw it all into a bag or into a box somewhere, it's not going to be sorted, and it's going to be difficult to know exactly how much you have And of course, you wouldn't have to put these tubes in Guardhouse boxes, and I'm fine if you put them in another box, but I would say at least tube up your constitutional silver. It's fine if you want to have just some floating around in a chest for videos or anything else like that. And I'm not saying you have to do this, of course, but I do think that it's great to have your constitutional silver tubed up. Of course, I also have some in albums, and that's going to be for a future video. So yes, now the final reason that I have for stacking 90% silver in Guardhouse boxes is simply the sense of progress and accomplishment that you get from using these. They're not that expensive, and I was going to talk about that a little bit later, but just look at this and just imagine how you would feel, for those of you that don't have these, if you were able to tube up your dimes and start filling a box like this. Or maybe you could even fill several boxes. They're very attractive boxes. They're very sturdy. They're made from cardboard, but they're very strong, and especially when you put the lid on, you can pick it up and it doesn't even feel like it's going to break apart at all, whether it's partway full or even a full box like the quarter one. That quarter one is pretty heavy, but it doesn't feel fragile whatsoever. So I will say it was just a tremendous pleasure to go through my stacking journey over the last couple years and watch these boxes fill up. And of course, I've got a few that are getting close, like this 90% $half one, and then the Roosevelt dime box. That one's getting fairly close. We've got 10, 20, 35, around $40 face value yet to fill both that one and the $half one. So that's cool. And then I'll be hitting the Mercury dimes whenever possible, of course, as well. The Morgan piece dollars, I'm not going to worry about that. I'll just let that one build up slowly over time, I believe. And beyond this, at this point, I'm not really planning to get more Guardhouse boxes, although that could change. I am planning to keep on stacking the quarters, for example, since this box is full. But I'll probably put the tubes into ammo boxes or something else like that, where I'll be able to have them stacked up upright like this, so I can just look inside the box and easily count up how many tubes of quarters I have. So, but basically what I wanted to accomplish here is fill a box of all these denominations, and a couple of them are doubled because we've got Roosevelts and Mercuries, and then I'm going to call that my critical base point, or my critical mass, my just very foundation when it comes to 90% silver. And then beyond that, I'll keep on stacking the 90% because it is a good deal, and then I'll be able to trade that for gold or whatever I want. But basically I want to have a certain amount for, you know, if the things get bad and people start using silver for currency again. Okay, so I'll talk more about that perhaps in another video, but yeah, that's reason number 3, is just the tremendous sense of accomplishment and progress that you really get when you stack this way. Now, the only reason I could really think of for not using Guardhouse boxes was cost, and I'm not going to share all the costs because they vary on where you purchase your boxes or your tubes. As you can see, I like to have my tubes all look the same, but if I didn't really care about that, then I could just get tubes for free from the coin shop. So the tubes don't actually cost a whole lot. The boxes, you're probably looking at around $10 to $12 or so, if I remember correctly, per box, and I was able to get a couple of them for less than that. So overall, if you're going to stack 90% this way, you're looking at well under $1 per roll for all of this. So yes, you can argue that that money could go towards more silver, but in my opinion it's worth to at least stack some 90% in this way. Alright guys, well, that's turning out to be a pretty long video, and I want to thank you for watching, and that's pretty much all I have to share. I just wanted to bring you in for this Guardhouse box project and show you what that looks like, so you can consider it for yourself. I know there are a couple other channels that show Guardhouse boxes on YouTube as well. But I do want to hear what you think, so let me know in the comments down below what you think about using Guardhouse boxes, and perhaps what your experience has been, or if you know of any other good solutions for keeping track of your 90% silver. So with that said, guys, remember to keep on stacking the silver and keep on destroying that fiat.